Hi everyone, my name is Vivian and I'm a business analyst from our Plative NetSuite Transform team. Today, I'm going to demonstrate our internal rental IP. I will demo the end-to-end process from creating an item, purchasing it, adding stock to it, renting it out, and finally invoicing it. So the first thing we're going to do is go to List, Accounting, Items, and New to create a new item. And then under inventory item, I'm gonna click on serialized to create a serialized inventory item. So here is the screen where you would record all of the information for your new item, give it an item name. Then for the subsidiary, I'm gonna click on include children just so that it is available to all the other subsidiaries here. One important note is that when you are creating a rental item, you do check this for rental box so that under the rental item field here, the system will automatically generate a new service item for it, which you'll be seeing later on. And then late fee, I'm going to enter 20 here. So this is the daily late fee if this item isn't returned on the day of the contract. So those are all the information I need for this tab. If I click it open, the sales and pricing tab, here I would enter the price, the daily rental rate for this item. I'll say it's 10. And then just like any other NetSuite items, you do need the basic COGS, asset, and income account, as well as a tax schedule. I'm going to select the default one now. And those are all the information we need for creating a new serialized inventory item for rental. Now I'm gonna go ahead and save this. So as you can see, once you save the inventory item, the system will automatically create a new rental item that has the rental and then dash, and then the item name that you gave here. If I click it open, you should see all the information copied over to this service for resale item as well. There is always the link back to the actual inventory item for your reference. You can see the daily late fee is copied to here. If you click the sales and pricing tab, you will see the item pricing is copied over to here as well. If you click on accounting, you will see the tax schedule and the income account got copied to here as well. Those are all the steps that we need in order to create a new item. And then I will go ahead and create a purchase order since we do want to add stock to our warehouse for this item so that we can rent it out to our customer. If I go to transactions, purchases, and enter purchase orders, it will open up our purchase order screen. From here, I will select a vendor. I will then select an item. As you can see, I just type in the item name and it will automatically show up here. For the quantity, instead of 1, I'm going to say we're purchasing 10 of them. Click on Add. Now the purchase order is created. The next step would be to click on Receive to actually receive this item into our warehouse. On this page, it will prompt us to enter an inventory detail if we click this box open. But first, before we do that, we actually need to select our location. We have 3 default locations here, but I'm just going to click on the rental warehouse one and then click on inventory detail. So here you do have the option to manually enter your serial number if you have them on hand. But also another option is just to have NetSuite auto-generate those numbers for you. So I'm gonna click on auto-generate numbers. You can give it a prefix for all of your serial numbers. I'm gonna give it rental for now. You can define your minimum digits and also starting number, as well as the status of the inventory. So since we're just purchasing this item, so we're gonna set all of them to good. And then click on OK. As you can see, the system only generate 10 serialized numbers for us. We click on OK and then save. The item receipt is saved, and now these 10 machine B are being added to our rental warehouse location. Now comes the fun part, which is actually renting out these items to our customer. If we go to transactions, sales, and enter sales orders, this is a normal sales order. We would select a customer from here. And then under status, you see right now it's pending approval. But if your company doesn't require an approval step on your sales order, we can set it to pending fulfillment as well. For now, I'm going to set it to pending fulfillment to skip the approval process. And then under item, I'm going to type machine B, which is the item that I just created. For this order, I'm going to say we are renting out 2 of them. And then if you scroll right to the column here, there are 2 fields that are mandatory if this item is a rental item. First is the expected rental start date. The second is the expected rental end date. For now, I'm going to set our expected rental start date to be the day of today. The end date to be 1 week after. And then you can see the rate on the item record does come over on the sales order as well. There's also daily late fee, which we entered on our item record. It also got copied over on the sales order as well. We can click on add to add new items. This is a normal sales order, so you're free to enter other regular inventory item. It doesn't have to be for rental. It can be other item types as well, just like how you would enter a normal sales order. But for now, I'm just gonna add this machine B on my sales order, and then I'm good to save it. As you can see, the amount is calculated based on the quantity too. The rate is 70 because we have a rental duration of 7 days, which got calculated from our expected start and end date. So our final amount would be this rate, 70 times our quantity 2 equals 140. After creating our sales order, we can go ahead and fulfill the sales order, meaning we are shipping these 2 machines to our customers. So on here under status, there are 3 status we can choose from: pick, pack, and ship. I'm going to go ahead and skip the pick and pack process and set it to ship to signify that these orders are actually shipping out to our customer. For the location, I'm going to enter rental warehouse, and then inventory detail. I'm going to choose 2 from our list here. So I chose rental 2 and rental 3. I'm going to click on OK. The date on the item fulfillment here would be updated on the sales order as the actual rental start date, which you'll be see later on. For now, I'm going to leave it to 113. I'm going to save it. Now on the item fulfillment, I have a direct link back to my sales order. And if you scroll down to the item detail and drag to the right, you can see the actual rental start date got updated from the item fulfillment, which is gonna be 1/13/2025. But if you change the date on the item fulfillment, it will get updated here as well. So now you ship these two items to your customer. Now, let's say a few days later, they are ready to return the items back to you. From the sales order, click on Authorized Return. This will initiate the return process. Location is mandatory, so select the rental warehouse location. Click on OK. You don't have to enter any inventory detail on the return authorization form yet. I'm going to click on Save. You'll see this total amount is dropped from 140 to 0 because for any rental item, we automatically clear out any amount on the return authorization because we don't actually want to credit the customer back because they're not returning any damaged goods. They're simply returning items that they have rented from us. From the return authorization, we click on Receive to actually create the item receipt. And then from here, we can set the date of the item receipt, which will get updated on the sales order as the actual end date of the rental. So remember, on the sales order, we have the expected end date set to be the 20th, so 1 week from now. But here, let's say we set it to 1 day later than our expected rental end date. You will see how your amount would get updated on the sales order. I'm going to enter inventory detail here. Those are the two items that we selected on our item fulfillment. So these would be the ones that will be returning back. I click on OK, and we can save the item receipt. Now the item receipt is saved. If I go back to my sales order from my recent list, and then scroll to the item detail, and then drag it to here, you will see the actual rental end date got updated from our item receipt to be 1/21st, 2025. And our rental duration also got updated. Now it's calculating based on the actual start date and the actual end date. You can also see our final amount here got updated as well, as opposed to 140, which we initially had. Right now it's 200, just because we increased 1 day for the rental duration, as well as if you scroll further to the right here, you'll be able to see we do have a late fee of $40 because we have 2 items. Each item per day late fee is 20. So we have 40 in total for late fee. And then we have 8 days for our rental duration, 8 times the quantity of 2 here, and then times our rental rate, which is $10 per day, plus the $40 late fee here. And that's how we got the total of 200 on our invoice. And then the next step would be to create the invoice so that the customer can actually pay for it. If we click on Next Bill, we will create the invoice from here. Nothing special on the invoice, it's just copying all the information we have on our sales order. You can see the quantity here, the inventory detail, the rate here got updated, as well as all the expected start and end date. You will notice that you won't be able to change any of these fields on the invoice as well as on the sales order manually, just because these dates do get updated from the actual item fulfillment and item receipt. So without editing the date on those two documents, you won't be able to change the date from here, as well as the daily late fee, since it will automatically copy from the item record. We'll click OK here and then save the invoice. And from this point on, we will be able to accept payment against this invoice. And everything just follows standard NetSuite process from this point on. And that's the end for this demo.